You lie in the quiet of the evening, your body slowly softening against the weight of the bed, your mind loosening its grip on the day. In this softened state, you begin to notice that there is more to you than the thoughts that pass and the muscles that breathe. Beneath the stillness of your skin, beneath the steady rhythm of your heart, there is another world, a world that hums, sways, and stirs with life too small to see, yet vast enough to shape everything you are. This world is your inner garden. It does not bloom with roses or lilies, nor does it echo with bird calls. Instead, it is woven of creatures so tiny that a single drop of water could hold hundreds, yet they gather in numbers greater than the stars scattered across the night sky. Trillions of them dwell in you, in your gut, your skin, your mouth, your very breath. Each one invisible, yet together, they make you who you are. Science names this community your microbiome. But when you close your eyes and let imagination take its gentle walk, it is easier, softer, to picture as a meadow hidden within you, its grasses swaying in a secret breeze. You are both the meadow and the one who tends it. You are the soil and the gardener. Think of the way wildflowers take root in a patch of earth. They arrive by chance, a drifting seed, a passing bird, a splash of rain. Slowly they settle, spreading roots into the soil, reaching upward toward light. In the same way, your microbes arrive. Some traveled from your mother at the moment of your birth. Some arrived later, with the touch of other humans, with the first food you tasted, with the air you breathed. And from then on, they multiplied, settling into a landscape uniquely yours. This garden does not lie silent. Though you cannot hear its whispers with your ears, it speaks in countless ways. When you eat, the garden stirs, microbes nibbling at fibers, breaking them into nourishing fragments, sharing their energy with you. When you feel stress, the garden quivers, its balance shifting like flowers shaken by a storm. When you rest deeply, the garden steadies, weaving itself back into harmony. You are not a single being but a community. Your body holds more microbial cells than human ones. For every step you take, every thought you form, you do so as a symphony of voices, most of them unheard. They do not shout. They do not demand. They murmur softly, adjusting the chemistry of your blood, sending tiny messengers that travel from your gut to your brain. You may think your moods rise only from your mind, but your hidden garden shapes them too. Picture yourself walking through a meadow at dusk. The air glows golden, grasses bend in slow rhythm, and the hum of insects rises like music from soil. This is what your inner garden feels like, though its music plays at a frequency your ears cannot detect. Yet your body listens. Your nervous system hears. Your immune cells hear. Your very sense of self hears. It is humbling, isn't it? To realize that you is not only skin and bone, but also an entire world of unseen companions. They ask for little, a steady flow of nourishment, a stable place to live, the rhythms of day and night respected. In return, they give you so much: resilience, health, calm. When you take in a spoonful of vegetables, you are not only feeding yourself, you are watering the soil of your hidden meadow. When you sleep, you are not only resting your muscles, but giving your microbial residents the stillness they need to repair and grow. Even your breath, slow and measured, moves through your body like a breeze across a field, carrying oxygen and rhythm to every corner of this quiet land. The garden has many voices. Some microbes specialize in breaking down fibers, crafting short-chain fatty acids that soothe inflammation and keep your gut lining strong. Others craft vitamins, little sparks of light that your body cannot make alone. Some are guardians, forming barriers so that less friendly organisms cannot take hold. Like wildflowers growing close together, they crowd out weeds, protecting their soil. Of course, balance matters. Just as a meadow thrives when many species live side by side, your gut flourishes with diversity. Too few kinds and the system weakens. Too much disruption and weeds take root. Diversity is resilience. Harmony is strength. This is why your garden is precious. It is not something outside you to be admired from afar. It is you. It is a chorus of life that makes up your being, shaping your digestion, your immunity, even your moods and thoughts. As you drift closer to sleep, you may imagine this garden in more detail. Picture pathways lined with grasses shimmering in unseen light. Imagine tiny streams winding through the meadow, carrying nutrients from one cluster of flowers to another. Imagine that every step you take through this place is mirrored in your body, a balance kept, a rhythm maintained. When the outside world feels heavy, when worries press like stones against your chest, the garden waits, steady and constant. Its whispers remind you that you are never alone, that countless tiny lives walk with you, breathe with you, rest with you. You are a universe within a universe. And though you may never see these companions with your eyes, you feel them in other ways. In the calm after a nourishing meal, in the sense of ease after deep rest, in the subtle uplift of mood when your body is cared for. These are the whispers of your inner meadow, speaking not in words but in sensations, feelings, and states of being. Tonight, as you let yourself sink deeper into stillness, know that your body carries within it a secret abundance, a place that blooms without sunlight, a place that sways without wind, a place where life unseen sustains a life you know. The whispering garden is only the beginning. Soon, you will meet its inhabitants more closely. You will discover that the meadow is not made of vague shapes, but of countless individual lives, bacteria, fungi, archaea, each with a role, each with a purpose. They are not just abstract whispers. They are companions, millions strong, woven into the fabric of your existence. And as you cross the soft threshold of sleep, this thought remains. If such a vast garden thrives within you, then perhaps you are greater than you ever imagined, more connected, more alive, more complete. The meadow stirs, the garden hums, and in its quiet music, you drift toward tomorrow. You rest quietly, the echoes of the hidden meadow still alive in your mind. Yet as you lean further into this journey, the garden begins to take shape in new detail. It is no longer only a field of grasses swaying in silence. The closer you listen, the more clearly you sense the countless lives within it, millions upon millions of tiny companions, each alive with their own patterns, their own songs. These companions are your microbes. They are not ghosts, though they are invisible. They are not figments, though you cannot see them. They are living beings, as real as you are, as ancient as the earth itself. Long before humans walked upon the land, long before trees lifted their crowns to the sky, microbes thrived. They filled the seas, the soils, the air, and now they fill you. Imagine a bustling city at dawn. The streets hum with movement, shops open, families stir. Everyone has a role, everyone contributes. Some bake bread, some weave cloth, some carry water. Without one, the others falter. Your microbiome works in the same way. Each species, each strain, carries out its task, and together they maintain the balance that sustains you. There are trillions of them, and yet they live in harmony more often than conflict. They form partnerships, alliances, silent agreements to share your inner landscape. Some cling to the lining of your gut, building homes upon the surface. Others float in the streams of your intestines, moving with every wave of digestion. Some sleep, waiting for the right nourishment to awaken them. Others multiply swiftly when the foods they love arrive, like flowers blooming overnight after rain. The diversity is staggering. There are more species of microbes in you than the number of birds across the skies of the earth. Some are rare, fleeting guests, appearing and fading with the seasons of your diet. Others are ancient residents, passed from parent to child, forming lineages as deep as your own ancestry. Pause and feel this. You are never a single being. You are a collection, a constellation, a living network of human and non-human cells bound together in shared survival. The word you contains multitudes. And yet, these tiny companions are not equal. Some dominate, making up vast swaths of your microbial garden. Others are rare, existing like solitary trees in a forest, unnoticed yet vital. The harmony lies in their balance. Too much of one and the system wavers. Too few of another and resilience weakens. This is why your inner landscape thrives on variety. Diversity is not mere decoration. It is strength. Think of a symphony orchestra. There are many violins, a handful of clarinets, a scattering of drums, a single harp. Each instrument has its own voice, its own contribution. The violins may carry the melody, But without the bassoons and flutes, the song feels hollow. In the same way, your microbiome is not whole without its full array of voices, from the common to the rare. These companions do not live only in your gut. They inhabit your skin, shaping how it protects you from the outer world. They line your mouth, helping you break down food before it reaches your stomach. They live in your nose, forming a shield against harmful invaders. Even your lungs and your eyes, once thought sterile, are home to microbial residents. You are not simply a host. You are a living landscape, and everywhere across it, tiny lives bloom. You may wonder how something so small could matter so much. But consider this. Many of the signals that govern your immune system arise not from your own cells, but from theirs. They train your defenses, teaching them when to rise against threat and when to rest in peace. Without them, your immune system becomes confused, striking too fiercely or too weakly. With them, balance returns. And then there is the conversation with your mind. These tiny companions do not stop at digestion or immunity. They craft molecules that travel through your blood, reach your brain, and whisper to your thoughts. They influence how calm you feel, how alert, how content. The phrase gut feeling is more than metaphor. It is the truth of biology. Your gut, filled with companions, speaks directly to your mind. This is why you may notice how moods shift with meals, why anxiety sometimes eases with a settled stomach, why joy can bloom after nourishing food. It is not only the nutrients. It is a symphony of millions of voices inside you, harmonizing in ways science is only beginning to understand. They are ancient, these companions. Some belong to lineages unchanged for billions of years. In their world, time stretches differently. While you measure life in decades, they measure in minutes. A single day for you may be hundreds of generations for them. They adapt, evolve, shift. They remember through DNA, and they adjust with stunning speed to the world you offer them. This adaptability is why what you eat matters, why rest matters, why stress echoes so loudly in your gut. Your microbes listen. They respond. They bloom or diminish depending on the life you lead. And in return, they shape the life you experience. Imagine sitting by a campfire at night, surrounded by friends. Each one offers a story, a piece of laughter, a gentle presence. Alone, you would feel quiet but incomplete. Together, the warmth multiplies. This is what your companions bring. They warm the edges of your biology, offering resilience, companionship, unseen comfort. It is easy to forget them. Their scale is beyond sight. But as you lie here, calm and restful, you can imagine them more vividly. Imagine a galaxy, vast and scattered with stars. Now turn that vision inward into your gut, where each microbe is a star and together they form a galaxy within. A galaxy that breathes with you, rests with you, dreams with you. They are not silent passengers. They are co-authors of your story. From the moment of your birth, when microbes first settled upon your skin and in your gut, you have been accompanied. As you grew, they grew with you. As you aged, they shifted, changed, adapted. And even in this quiet moment, as you drift between wakefulness and sleep, they continue their work, digesting, signaling, weaving balance. You are more than yourself. You are millions upon millions of tiny companions. Together, you are a walking ecosystem, a breathing forest, a moving ocean of life. As you breathe more deeply now, allow this truth to settle within you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And in this realization, there is comfort, there is calm, there is wonder. The garden of Chapter 1 opens now into its details. The whispering field becomes a community alive with countless residents. And as you feel their presence, you begin to wonder more deeply. How do these companions, so many and so varied, truly live together? What rules keep the peace? What harmonies allow them to thrive? That is where the path leads next. You enter the world in a rush of light, sound, and warmth. For 9 months you were sheltered, your body forming in quiet protection, nourished by your mother's breath and blood. But at the instant of birth, everything changes. The air touches your skin, light presses against your eyes, and with your very first breath, the world begins to seat itself inside you. Your body is new, but not empty. Even in those first moments, millions of unseen travelers gather to make their home within you. They arrive in waves. From the passage through which you are born, from the skin that first touches yours, from the air that fills your lungs. Each moment brings new arrivals, new settlers, new voices for the garden within. Imagine a field of untouched soil after a long winter. Nothing yet grows, but the ground waits, fertile and ready. Then, a breeze scatters seeds across the surface. Some take root quickly, others wait for rain. Still others drift away. In time, the bare earth fills with green. In the same way, your newborn body is seeded with life in those first hours. Microbes drift into your mouth, cling to your skin, find shelter in your gut. Slowly, they settle, rooting themselves into your inner landscape. Birth itself shapes this first bloom. A child born through the natural passage gathers microbes from the mother's body, communities of bacteria that have been preparing for this very moment, ready to pass on to the next generation. They are not invaders. They are gifts. They carry with them not only survival but history, echoes of ancestors, threads of adaptation woven through centuries. A child born through surgery gathers a different set of companions. The first bloom may come from the skin of doctors and nurses, from the cool air of the operating room. The starting soil is different, and so the seeds are different. Yet the principle is the same. The body is never alone. Companions arrive, and the first community begins. Feeding is another form of seeding. In the earliest days, your nourishment is milk, rich not only with calories and proteins, but with sugars designed for microbes. Some of these sugars cannot be digested by you at all. They exist only to feed your microbiome, encouraging the growth of certain species that protect you, soothe your gut, and train your immune system. Think of this. Your very first meals are not only for you, but also for them, for the millions of companions just beginning to find their places inside you. It is as if a mother's body offers not only food for a child, but food for the child's invisible garden as well. In this gift lies deep wisdom. Survival depends not only on flesh and bone, but on the living web of microbes that rise with you. As the weeks pass, the bloom expands. Every touch from family adds new seeds. Every breath of air carries travelers. Every drop of water or grain of food introduces potential companions. Slowly, a pattern forms, not random but shaped by your environment, your nourishment, your lineage. You begin to develop a unique microbiome, a fingerprint of life that belongs only to you. Science tells us that these first years are critical. The composition of your gut community during infancy influences your health for decades to come. If diversity blooms early, resilience follows. If imbalance takes hold, the echoes can linger. This is why the first bloom is so precious. It is not merely the start of digestion, but the foundation of your relationship with the microbial world. Your immune system, too, awakens in these years. Like a child learning to walk, it stumbles, it tests, it finds its balance. And who are its teachers? The microbes themselves. They present gentle challenges, small rehearsals for bigger battles. They show your defenses what to ignore and what to resist. Without them, the immune system grows restless, uncertain, prone to striking too harshly or too weakly. With them, it learns the difference between friend and foe, danger and safety. Picture a meadow in spring. The first flowers open, insects arrive, pollination begins. Slowly, the ecosystem stabilizes, each new arrival adding to the richness. Your gut is no different. Species after species appears, some fading quickly, others establishing themselves firmly. A balanced meadow emerges, alive with cooperation, buzzing with life. But just as in nature, disturbances matter. A harsh antibiotic can flatten the young garden, cutting down companions as surely as frost cuts spring blooms. Some recover, some do not. The soil remains, waiting for seeds, but the pattern shifts. The early years hold a delicate balance, too fragile to ignore, too important to forget, and yet resilience is also written into this bloom. With care, the meadow regrows. With nourishment, it flourishes again. With time, diversity returns. Life is persistent, even when it falters. As you lie here now, long past those first breaths of life, your body still carries the imprint of that beginning. The companions seated in your infancy set the stage for the symphony you carry today. Some may have faded, replaced by others, but their echoes remain. They shape your immune system. They taught your gut. They influenced your earliest moods. They were the first roots in your inner soil. Think of yourself now not as a finished being, but as an ongoing meadow, one that began blooming the day you entered the world and has never stopped. Every breath since that moment has carried life into you. Every step has been taken not alone, but as part of a community billion strong. The first breath was not simply air filling lungs. It was the wind that scattered seeds across your hidden garden. The first bloom was not simply the opening of your eyes. It was the sprouting of life within, a life that would walk with you, shape you, sustain you. And as you drift into deeper rest, you may imagine that moment again. The hush of birth, the gasp of new lungs, the invisible rain of microbes settling into place. Your story began not alone, but in chorus, not in silence, but in whispers. That chorus sings still, though its voices are too small for your ears. This is the truth of your beginning. Your first bloom was also theirs, and together, you have never stopped growing. Soon, we will wander deeper into this meadow to see how nourishment, every bite and sip you take, becomes not only fuel for you, but sunlight and rain for your garden. Food is not simply food. It is dialogue. It is invitation. It is the tending of the forest within. You are not only the keeper of an inner garden. You are the one who waters it, nourishes it, tends to it with every choice you make. What you eat is more than fuel for your own body. It is sunlight, rain, and fertile soil for the countless lives within you. Each meal is a season. Each bite is a breeze across the meadow. Each sip is a river flowing through the hidden forest of your gut. When you imagine food, you may think of its taste, its texture, the comfort it brings. But your microbes perceive it differently. To them, a piece of fruit is not simply sweet. It is a cascade of sugars, fibers, and compounds to be broken apart, shared, transformed. A bowl of vegetables is not merely color and crunch. It is sunlight captured in leaves, roots, and seeds, waiting to be released into nourishment. To your companions, food is story, signal, survival. Your hidden forest thrives on variety. Just as a meadow flourishes when many plants grow side by side, your microbiome flourishes when many different foods pass through it. Fibers, especially, are the wild grasses of this landscape. They are not fully digested by you, but your microbes take them in, breaking them down into smaller molecules that become food for your body and messages for your mind. Science calls these fragments short-chain fatty acids, but you may imagine them as lanterns glowing along the forest floor. Tiny lights that soothe inflammation, strengthen the gut wall, and send calming signals through your bloodstream. Each fiber-rich meal plants more lanterns, more points of light, more resilience in the dark pathways of your inner woodland. Contrast this with meals stripped of variety. Highly processed foods, empty of fibers, starve the forest floor. Without grasses to feed on, certain species fade. The meadow grows sparse. Weeds, less beneficial microbes, find open ground and spread quickly. Diversity weakens, balance tilts, resilience falters. Like a monoculture field vulnerable to drought, a narrow diet leaves your inner forest fragile. But the beauty of this hidden landscape is its responsiveness. With a shift in diet, new seeds are sown. Within days of adding fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, your microbial community stirs. Dormant species awaken. New voices join the chorus. The soil thickens. The canopy spreads. The meadow grows strong again. It is never too late to feed your forest. Fermented foods are another gift. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. These carry live microbes, travelers who enter your system and mingle with your residents. Some stay for only a short while, like birds passing through. Others take root, joining the balance more permanently. They bring songs from faraway places, adding to the harmony of your inner ecosystem. Polyphenol, the pigments in berries, tea, dark chocolate, are yet another offering. To you, they are flavor, color, pleasure. To your microbes, they are nourishment, sparks of chemical energy that encourage growth of protective species. Picture them as beams of purple and red sunlight shining into the canopy, energizing the forest in ways unseen. And then there's water. So simple, so often overlooked. Every drop you drink flows like a stream through the soil of your gut, carrying nutrients, flushing waste, providing the riverbeds along which life moves. Without it, the forest wilts. With it, the forest flourishes. Each meal, then, is not just for you. It is a negotiation, a gift, a tending. To choose diverse, fiber-rich, colorful foods is to lay down rain and sun for your companions. To pause and eat slowly, mindfully, is to let the forest absorb what you offer. To listen to your hunger and satiety is to listen to the voices of your microbes as well, for they send signals that rise to your brain, guiding your desires, shaping your cravings. Sometimes, the signals are distorted. Diets heavy in sugar and fat can shift the balance, leading certain species to call out more loudly. Cravings grow sharper, moods more restless. But balance can be restored gently, with steady care, with nourishment that favors harmony over noise. Think of a woodland after fire. At first, it seems barren, ashen silence. Yet with time, shoots of green emerge, small flowers return, and soon the forest hums again. Your gut is equally resilient. Even after imbalance, even after disruption, it remembers how to grow back when given what it needs. As you lie and rest now, imagine yourself walking through this inner woodland. Trees rise around you, leaves glowing with unseen light. Small streams wind between mossy stones. The air is thick with the hum of unseen lives. With each step, you scatter nourishment, handfuls of fruits, grains, herbs. The forest responds instantly, flowers opening, branches stretching toward you, the ground firm beneath your feet. You realize then, you are not only the walker of this path, you are also its caretaker. Your meals are rituals, your choices are seeds, your habits are the climate in which this woodland grows. When you care for it, it cares for you. When you neglect it, it still tries to adapt, though it harmony frays. And when you return to it with kindness, it welcomes you back, flourishing again with resilience. Food is not punishment. Food is not only pleasure. Food is communion between you and the millions within you. Every bite is dialogue, every swallow a promise. You and your forest walk together, breathe together, thrive together. As you drift deeper towards sleep, let this vision stay with you. Your body is woodland, your meals as sunlight and rain, your microbes as trees, flowers, moss, and streams. Know that each act of nourishment is more than survival. It is tending the vast and hidden ecosystem that makes you whole. The forest within is alive tonight, grateful for your care, resilient in its diversity. And as dawn will one day return, so too will our journey, into the ways your hidden companions speak. Their language is not of words, but of chemicals, signals, whispers traveling from gut to brain. Already, you can sense the question rising. What stories does a forest tell? What secrets does it share? You rest in stillness, the forest of your inner world alive with quiet movement. The roots beneath the soil intertwine. Streams flow with unseen light, and the canopy sways gently in an invisible breeze. Yet what makes this forest extraordinary is not only its beauty, but its voice. Your gut does not lie silent. It speaks, not in words, not in sentences, but in whispers carried through molecules, in signals flowing through nerves, in messages that rise into your bloodstream. This is the secret language of your gut, a language so ancient it shaped life long before humans existed, a dialogue between microbes, cells, and mind that continues every moment you live. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest at dusk. The trees appear quiet, but if you listen carefully, you hear the chorus. The rustle of leaves, the calls of birds, the hum of insects, the crackle of branches. The forest is alive with communication. So too is your gut. Every microbe, every cell, every chemical spark is part of the symphony, carrying signals from one part of your body to another. Some of these signals are simple, fragments of food broken down into energy, passed to your cells like letters delivered to a home. But many are far more subtle. Certain microbes transform fibers into molecules that soothe inflammation. Others produce neurotransmitters, the very same chemicals your brain uses to shape mood. Serotonin, dopamine, gamma-aminobutyric acid. These are not only the language of the mind, but also the whispers of the gut. Picture a hidden choir singing beneath the surface. Each voice contributes to a melody you cannot consciously hear, yet you feel its effects. A calm mood after a nourishing meal, a sense of unease when the gut is unsettled, the heaviness of stress reflected in digestion. These are translations of the gut's secret words. Your nervous system is listening. The vagus nerve, a long, winding pathway that stretches from your brainstem to your abdomen, carries these messages back and forth. It is a bridge, a river of communication. When your gut hums in harmony, the vagus nerve carries a song of calm to your brain. When imbalance rises, the signal shifts and your mind feels the echo. It is astonishing, isn't it, that your thoughts, your emotions, your very sense of self are shaped in part by these whispers. You may believe your brain is the lone storyteller of your moods, but the gut writes many of the lines. Scientists call this dialogue the gut-brain axis. But you may imagine it as a telephone line strung to the forest, carrying messages both ways, binding body and mind in constant conversation. This language is not one-sided. Your brain speaks back. When you feel stress, when your thoughts race, your brain sends signals downward, changing the rhythms of your gut. Muscles tighten, digestion slows, balance shifts. The microbes respond, their voices altered, their harmony shaken. The conversation becomes a cycle, thoughts influencing gut, gut influencing thoughts, round and round in a ceaseless loop. And yet, even in this complexity, there's elegance. Your microbiome and your nervous system do not speak in chaos. They speak in rhythm, like waves breaking against the shore. Like wind passing through trees, their signals rise and fall, repeat and return, weaving a pattern that sustains your health. Take serotonin, for example. Nearly 90% of this happiness chemical is produced not in your brain, but in your gut. Specialized cells line your intestines, listening to microbial cues, crafting serotonin in response. This serotonin influences gut movement, but also mood, sleep, appetite. A neurotransmitter, born in the depths of your digestive forest, shapes the colors of your inner world. Or consider short-chain fatty acids, those lanterns born from fiber in Chapter 4. They do more than soothe inflammation. They cross into your blood, travel to your brain, and whisper messages of calm, clarity, and balance. These small molecules, born from microbial work, carry meaning far beyond the gut itself. Even the immune system is part of this language. Microbes and immune cells exchange constant signals, deciding when to defend and when to rest. If the balance falters, inflammation rises, and the conversation turns harsh. If harmony holds, the immune system settles into peace, allowing both microbes and body to thrive. You might imagine this language as a web of glowing threads woven across your body. At every crossing, messages spark, flowing outward in all directions. No word is wasted, no signal alone. Together, they form an intricate tapestry, a dialogue as old as life itself. This is why your gut can influence your dreams, why an unsettled stomach can disturb sleep, why peace and digestion can soften your mind into calm. The language does not end at the gut wall. It rises through the body, echoing in your very consciousness. And here lies a mystery. How much of what you feel, think, and choose is shaped by these whispers? How many of your cravings, your moods, your energies are not solitary choices, but the chorus of your microbial forest guiding you gently? As you sink deeper into rest, consider the beauty of this truth. You are not alone in your thoughts. You are not alone in your moods. You are part of a greater dialogue, a living system of voices woven together. You are a harmony, not a solo. The forest inside you is not silent. It is speaking still, through molecules, through nerves, through rhythms that shape your waking and your sleep. And as you listen to its whispers, you sense the presence of something even deeper. For within the gut lies not only language, but a mind of its own, a network of neurons as vast as those of a small brain. A second brain, resting in the folds of your digestive system, waiting to be heard. There is a quiet intelligence inside you that does not rest in your head. It does not sit behind your eyes or dwell in the fold of your skull. It lies deeper, lower, nestled within the winding paths of your gut. Here, hidden among layers of muscle and waves of digestion, another brain stirs, not the mind that thinks and plans, but the mind that feels and responds, the mind that keeps rhythm with your life. The second brain is real. Science calls it the enteric nervous system. It is a vast network of neurons, more than 500 million nerve cells, as many as in the spinal cord. These neurons weave through the lining of your gut, sensing, signaling, deciding. They do not wait for your head to tell them what to do. They act on their own, guiding the movements of digestion, shaping the messages that travel back to your central brain. Close your eyes and imagine walking into a hidden chamber beneath a great forest. The chamber glows with threads of light, each thread a neuron, each spark a signal. The chamber hums with quiet activity, a city alive with communication. This is what lives inside you, a brain within a body, a mind within a mind. When you eat, the second brain awakens. Muscles contract in slow waves, pushing food along, mixing it with secretions, absorbing nutrients. These actions happen without thought, without command. Your second brain is in charge, orchestrating digestion with precision and care. You could never consciously control such complexity. It is wiser to let the hidden intelligence do its work. But the second brain does more than move food. It listens. It senses chemical whispers from microbes, hormonal signals from your body, emotional cues from your central brain. It gathers all of this and responds, balancing not only digestion but also mood, immunity, and energy. Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach before a moment of anticipation? That flutter is your second brain responding to emotion. Have you ever sensed unease in your gut during stress? That tightness is the enteric nervous system reacting to your state of mind. These sensations are not imagination. They are the second brain speaking in its own language of movement and feeling. This hidden intelligence is ancient. Long before creatures evolved complex skulls or higher thought, primitive animals had networks of nerves in their guts. Digestion was the first challenge of life, to take in, to transform, to use, and so the gut became wise. It remembered, adapted, refined. Even now, your second brain carries this legacy, a wisdom older than your thoughts, older than your words. You live by its guidance every day. Without asking, it manages hunger and satiety, signaling when to eat, when to stop. Without asking, it modulates hormones that ripple across your body, shaping metabolism, growth, repair. Without asking, it influences your mood, sending signals that rise through the vagus nerve to shift your emotional landscape. Consider this. Nearly 95% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, guided by this network of neurons. Serotonin, the chemical of happiness, calm, sleep, is not solely the creation of your brain above. It is also the gift of your second brain below. No wonder your mood can rise and fall with digestion. No wonder peace in the gut echoes as peace in the mind. Picture again that glowing chamber beneath the forest. Each neuron is like a firefly, blinking in rhythm. Some flash quickly, others slowly, together forming patterns of light. This is how your second brain speaks, through rhythms of activity, through waves of contraction, through pulses of neurotransmitters released into the bloodstream. The chamber glows not with thought, but with feeling, not with reason, but with response. And though it is hidden, it is not silent. It collaborates with your central brain in constant dialogue. The two are connected not by chains of command, but by a partnership, a dance of signals moving in both directions. The head brain sends thoughts, emotions, stress, calm. The gut brain replies with sensations, hormones, neurotransmitters. Together they weave the fabric of your daily experience. It is humbling to realize that what you feel in your mind is often shaped by what happens in your gut. Anxiety can begin with disruption in the microbiome. Calm can begin with harmony in the second brain. The division between body and mind is softer, blurrier than we once believed. You are not two entities but one flowing system, mind and gut bound in dialogue. As you rest now, imagine your second brain as a wise elder sitting quietly in a hidden chamber. It does not chatter. It does not argue. It observes, listens, and guides. It has seen countless meals pass, countless emotions rise and fall, countless seasons change. It knows how to adapt, how to balance, how to soothe, and it does not work alone. It listens closely to the voices of your microbial forest. Together, microbes and neurons craft a symphony of signals, shaping digestion, immunity, and mood. The microbes provide the whispers. The neurons translate them into action. Without one, the other falters. With both, harmony holds. The second brain is always awake. Even as you sleep, it moves food along, repairs tissue, balances its rhythms. It works tirelessly, silently, patiently. And when you awaken, it is ready once more, guiding you into another day with its unseen wisdom. Let yourself breathe deeply now. With each breath, imagine that glowing chamber lighting up within you. Feel its calm intelligence. Feel its ancient rhythm. Feel its quiet assurance that you are supported, guided, sustained. Your second brain does not seek to be noticed. It is content to work in the shadows, to whisper instead of shout. But when you pause to listen, when you honor its presence, you realize how much of your life flows from its hidden wisdom, and in that realization lies peace. Peace in knowing you are never truly alone in navigating your emotions. Peace in knowing your body holds intelligence in more than one place. Peace in knowing the whispers of your gut are not random but purposeful, guiding you toward balance. As you drift further into stillness, sense the next question arising. If the second brain is so deeply tied to your emotions, then how does it mirror your moods? How do the microbes and neurons together create the reflections of joy, sadness, calm, or unease? What do you see of yourself in the mirror of your microbial world? There are mirrors in your body that do not reflect the lines of your face or the color of your eyes. They do not show your skin, your hair, or the curve of your smile. Instead, they reflect something quieter, deeper, more elusive. They reflect your moods. And one of these mirrors rests within the hidden garden of your gut. As you rest, you may feel the waves of your own emotions, gentle, restless, steady, or fragile. Each mood seems like something born in your mind alone. But beneath your thoughts, the microbial forest stirs, and its balance or imbalance shapes what you feel. Your moods are not only the colors of your thoughts. They are also the reflections of your inner companions. The gut and the brain speak to each other constantly, exchanging signals through nerves, hormones, and chemical messengers. This is the gut-brain axis, the bridge we glimpsed before. But here, the conversation becomes more intimate. Your microbes do not only influence digestion. They influence how calm you feel, how anxious you become, how joyful or heavy your heart seems. Imagine standing beside a still pond. The surface reflects the sky, the trees, your own form leaning over. If the pond is calm, the reflection is clear. If wind or stones disturb it, the image ripples, distorts, breaks apart. Your gut is like that pond. When the microbial balance is steady, your mood reflects serenity. When the balance falters, when inflammation rises, the reflection distorts and your emotions waver. This is not imagination. Studies show that certain microbes produce chemicals used by your nervous system. Some craft serotonin, shaping feelings of peace. Others produce dopamine, guiding motivation and reward. Still others influence gamma-aminobutyric acid, softening anxiety and tension. Your microbial community is like a hidden pharmacy, compounding molecules that drift into your bloodstream and alter the currents of your mind. And when diversity fades, when the hidden forest thins, the reflection in your mood mirrors shifts. Anxiety can rise, depression can deepen, restlessness can linger. It is as though the pond has been stirred, the stillness broken. Scientists now explore these connections, uncovering links between microbiome imbalance and mood disorders. What was once thought separate, the mind above and the gut below, is revealed to be inseparable, joined in a mirror's reflection. You have felt this before, even if you did not name it. The unease of stress echoing as stomach discomfort, the relief of calm settling your digestion, the heaviness of fatigue lightened by nourishing food. Each of these is a mirror at work, reflecting the state of one realm into the other. Consider inflammation. When microbes are out of balance, when harmful species spread, They can trigger immune responses that ripple through your body. This inflammation travels not only through tissues, but through emotions. A body on alert can feel like a mind on edge. The mirror shows not only your biology, but your feelings, each shaping the other. But the mirror also reflects resilience. When the garden flourishes, when fibers, fermented foods, and diversity feed your microbes, anti-inflammatory signals spread. Serotonin rises, dopamine steadies, anxiety softens. The pond clears, the reflection calms, the mood brightens. Your inner world steadies the outer. It is humbling to think that what you eat may influence not just your energy, but your happiness. That a bowl of vegetables may brighten mood more lastingly than fleeting sugar. That fermented foods may soften anxiety through invisible whispers. That sleep, exercise, and kindness to your body all ripple through the microbial mirror, altering the reflection you see in your emotions. Even memory and learning are touched. Certain microbial metabolites influence how neurons connect, how strongly memories form, how flexible thought becomes. The pond does not only reflect mood but cognition, shaping the clarity with which you see the world. As you breathe slowly, imagine that pond again. The water is clear tonight, its surface still. The moon above reflects perfectly, a circle of light resting on the water. This is how your mood feels when your inner forest is nourished. The reflection is steady, calming, true. But imagine, too, the resilience of water. Even when stones are thrown, ripples pass, wind fades, and stillness returns. Your microbial mirror has the same gift. Even when disturbed, it can recover. Even when distorted, it can clear again. With each nourishing choice, with each gesture of rest and balance, you help the pond return to calm. You are not separate from this process. You are both the one who gazes into the mirror and the one who tends a pond. Your moods are not accidents, but reflections of deep biological dialogue. And in knowing this, you can walk with greater compassion for yourself, for the waves that rise and fall, for the ripples that distort, for the stillness that returns. Tonight, as you drift, consider that your feelings are not isolated shadows in the mind. They are shared expressions of body and microbes together, of neurons and companions weaving the same story. To care for your gut is to care for your mood. To soothe your mood is to soothe your gut. The mirror shines both ways. And as you float closer to sleep, you may wonder, if microbes shape mood while awake, what role do they play in the landscapes of dreams? Do they whisper into the fabric of your sleep, guiding the rhythms of your circadian clock, stirring the colors of your dreamscapes? The pond lies still. The mirror glimmers faintly. And the question leads us gently onward. The night folds around you like a soft blanket, and your body enters its hidden rhythms. Breathing slows, muscles loosen, thoughts drift into images. You step into the quiet landscapes of sleep. And yet, even here, in the stillness of dreams, your gut is awake. It stirs, it digests, it whispers. Its movements ripple upward, shaping not only your body, but the very dreams you wander through. Sleep is often thought of as belonging only to the brain, a theater of neurons, memories, and imagination. But your gut is a co-author of the night. The microbes within you, the neurons of your second brain, the hormones drifting through your blood, all play roles in shaping how deeply you rest, how vividly you dream, how gently you awaken. Imagine your sleep as an ocean tide. The waves rise and fall in cycles. Light sleep, deep sleep, dreaming sleep. These tides are guided not only by the brain, but also by your gut. Within your microbial forest, certain species follow circadian rhythms of their own. They shift as you shift, waking and resting with the cycles of light and dark. When their balance is steady, your tides flow smoothly. When disrupted, the currents become restless and dreams grow shallow. Your microbes craft molecules that drift into your bloodstream. Tryptophan, melatonin, serotonin, each one a lantern guiding the passage of night. Serotonin steadies mood and calms the nervous system. Melatonin signals darkness, coaxing your body toward rest. Both are shaped in part by your gut, by the meals you choose, by the harmony of your microbial meadow. Think of melatonin as moonlight inside you. It does not only shine in your brain's pineal gland. It also glows in your gut, where cells and microbes help produce it. As darkness falls, melatonin rises like the moon, its glow spreading across your body, softening your edges, slowing your rhythms. Without this internal moonlight, sleep falters and dreams scatter. Have you noticed how food affects your night? A heavy meal before bed can weigh upon your digestion, sending restless signals to brain, stirring dreams into fragments. Spices may spark vivid images. Sugar may pull you into shallow rest. In contrast, steady nourishment during the day, fibers, colors, fermented foods, creates balance, allowing your gut to settle quietly when night arrives. A quiet gut is a deep ocean. An unsettled gut is a storm. And within that ocean, your dreams take shape. Some researchers believe that microbial signals influence not only how long you sleep, but how richly you dream. When inflammation rises in the gut, dreams may become troubled, anxious, fragmented. When harmony holds, dreams grow softer, more fluid, more restorative. The gut is not a storyteller, but it sets the stage, adjusting the lighting, the sound, the pace of the play. Picture yourself lying in a meadow at night. The stars glimmer above, and beneath the soil, roots and microbes stir in quiet activity. The air feels still, yet the underground is alive with whispers. This is how your body rests. The conscious mind drifts while the hidden garden works, breaking down food, releasing signals, adjusting rhythms. The above and the below mirror each other. Stars in the sky, microbes in the soil, both guiding your night. The circadian clock is not only in your brain. It exists in every cell of your body, including those of your gut. Microbes sense when you eat, when you sleep, when light enters your eyes. They shift their activity to match, syncing themselves with your day. When the rhythm of light, food, and rest is steady, their clock aligns with yours and sleep deepens. When the rhythm is broken, irregular meals, late nights, shifting time zones, the microbial clock drifts and your rest follows. This is why routine feels so soothing. A steady rhythm of waking, eating, and sleeping is not only comfort for your mind, but guidance for your microbes. They thrive on predictability, and in thriving, they steady your dreams. As you breathe slowly now, imagine these rhythms. Picture an invisible metronome ticking softly in your gut. Each beat aligned with your breath, your heart, your thoughts. This metronome guides both microbes and neurons, helping the symphony of your body move in harmony. And as the rhythm holds, dreams emerge like music carried by the tide. There is wonder, too, in the possibility that your microbes shape the very tone of your dreams. By influencing neurotransmitters, they may color your nights with calm or restlessness, joy or unease. Perhaps this is why your dreams sometimes echo your body state. Light after a nourishing day, heavy after stress, vivid after imbalance. The mirror of mood extends into sleep, into the fragile fabric of dreaming. And yet, dreams remain a mystery. They are not entirely explained by neurons, nor by microbes. They are an interplay, a weaving of memory, biology, and imagination. What is clear is that your gut is part of the loom, adding threads to the tapestry each night. As you sink deeper, you realize that sleep is not the silence of the body, but its secret work. Muscles repair, hormones reset, immune cells patrol. And within your gut, digestion continues its quiet labor, guided by microbes and neurons alike. Together, they help clear waste, balance signals, and prepare you for the next day. Your dreams, then, are not separate from your digestion. They are stirred by it, colored by it, carried along by the same rhythms that move food through your body. The forest does not sleep. It hums with nocturnal life. And you, resting in stillness, are part of its song. Tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine your gut as a sea beneath you. Its waves rise and fall in slow rhythm, each wave carrying molecules, signals, whispers. Above, the stars of your dreams shimmer, their light reflected on the waves below. The ocean and the sky mirror each other, bound by rhythm, bound by time. The dreams stirred by digestion carry you onward, not as chaos, not as disorder, but as gentle stories shaped by the harmony of your inner garden. And when you awaken, you carry their imprint, subtle yet lasting, like dew left by the night. Soon, you will see that just as dreams are shaped by the gut, so too is stress. The The storms of the outer world can shake the inner forest, disturbing balance, altering the mirror. But serenity can also restore it. Sunlight breaking through clouds, rain calming the soil. The next path leads there, to stress, serenity, and the embrace of your hidden garden. Stress is a storm, and your body knows its winds. It rushes through your chest, quickens your breath, stiffens your muscles, narrows your thoughts. But the storm does not stay above, circling only in your mind. It sweeps downward into your gut, where the hidden forest bends beneath its force. Your microbes, your neurons, your second brain, all feel the weather of your emotions. The gut is a sensitive listener. It responds instantly to the tremors of stress. Hormones such as cortisol surge through your bloodstream, carry like thunderclouds. Muscles along your digestive tract tighten, movements shift, secretions change. The balance of your microbial garden tilts, and the harmony you rely on begins to ripple. You've felt it before. The unease in your stomach before speaking aloud. The sudden flutter during moments of anticipation. The heaviness when worry lingers too long. These are not illusions. They're the storm echoing within, the dialogue between stress and the gut. Science shows that stress can reduce microbial diversity, thinning the forest. Protective species may fade, while less helpful ones grow louder. Inflammation rises, the immune system tightens its grip, and the gut wall itself can weaken. What begins as a thought or a worry becomes a physical echo, a storm felt across the whole ecosystem of your body. And yet, the gut does not only suffer storm, it also helps to calm it. When harmony holds, when your microbes flourish, they produce molecules that soften the edges of stress. They help regulate cortisol, soothe inflammation, and signal calm to the brain. The forest is not only vulnerable to storms, it is also the ground where serenity takes root. Imagine standing within an actual woodland during a storm. Trees bend, branches sway, leaves scatter, but the roots hold. The soil steadies. The storm passes and the forest rises again. So too does your inner garden. It is shaken, but it remembers balance. It bends, but it does not break. With nourishment, rest, and care, it steadies once more. Breath is one of your simplest tools. A slow inhale, a slower exhale, carried down into your gut. The vagus nerve listens to this rhythm and sends signals of calm downward. Muscles release. Digestion steadies. Microbes return to balance. It is as if your breath becomes a soft rain, calming the soil after storm. Food also matters. Meals rich in fibers and variety, shared slowly and peacefully, feed microbes that produce calming molecules. Fermented foods add voices of resilience. Polyphenol, those pigments of berries and tea, carry sparks of anti-inflammatory light. Each meal, taken with care, becomes another way of steadying the inner weather. Sleep, too, is medicine. In rest, stress hormones subside, the gut repairs, microbial balance restores. Without sleep, the storm lingers, clouds refuse to part. With sleep, the sunlight returns, the forest breathes again. Even kindness plays a role. Acts of compassion, moments of connection, time spent in gratitude, all soften the nervous system. They quiet cortisol, relax the storm. And the gut feels this, too. The microbial garden flourishes not only on food, but on the atmosphere of your life. Peace in your heart is peace in your gut. Picture your inner forest again. In one moment, the winds rise, bending grasses, shaking branches. In the next, the air grows still, sunlight filters through, streams run clear. This is the cycle of stress and serenity. Neither permanent, always moving, always shifting. But the forest endures, waiting for balance, ready to embrace calm. You are not powerless before these storms. You are not only a victim of stress. You carry within you the tools of peace, your breath, your choices, your rhythms. You carry the resilience of your microbial garden, a strength older than memory, older than fear. When you pause, when you rest, when you nourish yourself gently, you invite serenity back into the forest. Microbes bloom, neurons steady, hormones soften. The storm lifts, and in its place comes stillness, an embrace from within. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine the storm clearing. Clouds fade, sky brightens, the forest glows once more. The soil drinks the rain, and new shoots rise. In this vision lies reassurance. Stress will come, but so will calm. Storms will shake you, but serenity will steady you. The gut is not only a mirror of stress, it is also the ground where peace takes root. And as calm settles, you feel the next truth emerging. The strength of your inner forest lies not only in its calm, but in its diversity. The more species that thrive, the more resilient the garden becomes, weathering storms with ease. This is where the path leads next, into the healing power of diversity. In the heart of every forest, diversity is its strength. Trees of many shapes rise side by side, moss carpets the ground, birds weave through branches, insects hum unseen. The richness of life makes the forest resilient. When one species falters, others take its place. When storms strike, the variety of roots, leaves, and wings ensure the woodland endures. Your inner garden is no different. The millions of tiny companions inside, you are not a single species, not one uniform crowd. They are many: bacteria, fungi, archaea, even viruses, each with roles, each with gifts, each contributing to the harmony of your inner world. It is their diversity that makes you strong. Imagine your gut as a great meadow. If only one kind of grass grows, the soil is fragile, vulnerable to drought or disease. But if countless species flourish, tall stalks, creeping vines, flowering herbs, the meadow weaves itself into resilience. Rain or heat may come, but balance holds. In the same way, your health depends not only on the presence of microbes, but on their variety. Science reveals that the healthiest microbiomes are the most diverse. Dozens, even hundreds of species live together, each performing unique tasks. Some break down fibers, some protect against harmful invaders, some produce vitamins, some craft calming molecules. Together, they form a web of interdependence, a network where every voice matters. When diversity wanes, the web frays. A few species may dominate, but the system loses flexibility. Inflammation rises, digestion weakens, moods falter. It is as though a forest becomes a field of only one tree. Beautiful perhaps, but fragile, unable to withstand storms. Diversity is not luxury. It is survival. And how is this diversity nurtured? Through the life you live, the choices you make, the foods you eat. Every meal is a gardener's act. Every experience, a seed. When you choose a wide variety of fibers, fruits, vegetables, legumes, grains, you scatter many seeds across the soil. When you limit yourself, the seeds dwindle and only a narrow garden grows. Fermented foods add more voices, introducing new travelers to your gut. Some stay briefly, others take root, but all add to the chorus of diversity. Herbs and spices, with their polyphenol, feed rare species that otherwise might fade. Even connection with the natural world matters. Soils, animals, plants, they carry microbes that remind your body of its ancient companions. Diversity is not only external. Your life experiences shape it too. Travel, new environments, the rhythms of seasons. Each introduces variation. Each reshapes your microbial landscape. In this way, your body is not closed but open, constantly in dialogue with the world around you. Consider the wisdom in this. Your strength comes not from isolation but from connection. Just as ecosystems thrive through interdependence, so too do you flourish when your inner forest is woven with many threads. As you breathe deeply, imagine your gut as a rainforest. Towering trees of microbes stretch upward, vines of signals weave between them. Countless small lives hum beneath. Insects, birds, moss, fungi, each with a place, each contributing to the whole. A rainforest is powerful not because it is uniform, but because it is many, because it is richly alive. This richness influences everything you feel. A diverse microbiome protects against disease, balances immunity, steadies mood, sharpens cognition. It is the foundation of resilience. Like a woven fabric, the more threads it holds, the less likely it is to tear. And even when damage comes, antibiotics, stress, poor diet, diversity can return. With care, with nourishment, with time, the forest regrows. New shoots sprout, rare species reappear, balance is restored. Resilience lies not in perfection, but in the capacity to renew. Tonight, as you rest, let this truth soothe you. Your body is not fragile soil waiting to collapse. It is a resilient garden, capable of healing, capable of blooming again. Even when imbalance arises, even when storms pass through, the potential for diversity remains. Life remembers how to grow. You may imagine this renewal as a meadow after rain. At first, the ground is muddy, scattered with fallen leaves. But soon, shoots of green rise, flowers open, insects return. What seemed broken becomes vibrant once more. Your microbiome, too, knows how to recover, to heal, to flourish again. Diversity is not a distant goal. It is already within you, waiting, responding, blooming with every choice you make. In feeding it, you feed yourself. In caring for it, you honor the resilience written into your very being. As you drift deeper, imagine walking through your inner rainforest. Hear the calls of countless creatures. Feel the softness of moss beneath your feet. See the canopy glowing with light. Know that this is you, not a single voice, but a chorus, not one thread, but a tapestry. Diversity is your strength. And with this vision comes the next step of the journey. The guardians of this diversity. The immune system, ever watchful, ever guiding. Like gatekeepers at the garden's edge, they decide who enters, who stays, who must leave. To understand them is to understand the balance between harmony and defense. Every garden has its guardians. Some are walls of stone. Some are hedges of thorn. Some are watchful hands that tend the soil and protect its bloom. Your inner garden is no different. Within the hidden meadow of your gut, gatekeepers stand watch, guarding against invaders, shaping the balance of life within. These guardians are your immune system, a vast, intricate network of sentinels that patrol, defend, and decide. The immune system is not only a shield against illness, it is a gardener pruning and shaping, inviting harmony, removing imbalance. It listens carefully to the whispers of microbes, learning who is friend, who is stranger, who must be kept at bay. Without this guidance, your garden would be overrun. With it, the meadow thrives, diverse and strong. Imagine a gate at the edge of your forest. Beyond it lie countless travelers, bacteria, viruses, fungi, drifting in through food, water, touch, and air. Some are welcome guests, carrying gifts of nourishment and balance. Others are neutral wanderers, passing without harm. Still others are potential invaders, seeking to take more than they give. At the gate, your immune sentinels decide who enters, who stays, and who must be turned away. These sentinels are not a single force, but many kinds of cells, each with a role. Some stand guard along your gut lining, watching with keen attention. Others patrol your blood, scanning for signs of disturbance. Some rush quickly to fight, others move slowly, building long-term memory. Together, they form a layered defense, a system both vigilant and wise. What makes this system extraordinary is its dialogue with your microbes. The immune system is not an isolated army, forever on guard. It is a gardener guided by the very life it tends. From birth, microbes teach immune cells how to distinguish friend from foe. They present harmless signals, training the system to rest in peace rather than strike in fear. They help the gatekeepers learn tolerance, the wisdom to know when not to fight. Without this guidance, the immune system can grow confused. It may strike too fiercely, mistaking friend for enemy. Allergies, autoimmunity, chronic inflammation, these are storms that rise when the guardians lose their clarity. But with microbial teachers, the immune system finds balance, strong enough to defend, gentle enough to allow harmony. Picture your gut lining as a castle wall. On its surface grow small watchtowers, cells that sample the world outside. They taste the food you eat, the microbes that arrive, the signals drifting through. They carry messages inward, calling immune cells to act or to rest. Beneath them, microbes hum softly, sending their own signals of peace, calming the system, teaching it patience. This balance is delicate. Too much sterility, and the immune system grows restless, untrained, prone to error. Too much invasion, and the defenses rise too harshly, damaging the garden itself. but in the middle ground, where microbes and immune cells speak in constant dialogue, resilience blooms. Your immune system is not always in battle. Much of its work is quiet observation, listening, learning. It sends small patrols rather than armies, prunes rather than burns. In this way, it resembles a gardener more than a soldier. Its wisdom lies not in destruction, but in cultivation. Food influences this balance deeply. Fibers nourish microbes that soothe the immune system, crafting molecules that reduce inflammation. Fermented foods bring new teachers to the gate, offering fresh lessons of tolerance. Polyphenol, vitamins, minerals all strengthen the dialogue between garden and guardians. Each meal is not only nourishment for you, but training for your sentinels, guidance for their choices. Stress, too, plays a role. In times of tension, immune cells grow more reactive. The gate swings too easily into defense. Microbes sense this shift, their balance disturbed. In times of calm, the opposite occurs. Defenses settle, tolerance blooms, harmony holds. Your emotions are part of this ecosystem, shaping the immune garden as surely as food and rest. And sleep, the quiet hours of night, is when much of this training occurs. While you rest, immune cells review their lessons, remembering past invaders, strengthening their memory. Microbes hum in rhythm, providing steady signals of balance. Without sleep, the lessons fade. With sleep, the guardians grow wise. As you lie in stillness now, imagine the gate at the edge of your forest. Sentinels stand watch, calm yet ready. Microbes gather nearby, offering signals of peace, teaching the guardians tolerance. Beyond the gate, the world flows with life, much of it harmless, some of it harmful. The sentinels do not panic. They listen, they choose, they guide. This is the power of your immune garden, not only to fight, but to discern, not only to defend, but to balance. It is the wisdom of knowing when to act and when to rest. And in this balance lies your health. A tolerant immune system protects without overreacting. A diverse microbiome teaches without overwhelming. Together, they form a partnership, a dialogue that sustains you every day. You're not only a body defended by walls. You are a garden tended by guardians. You are a meadow in dialogue with its sentinels. You are harmony shaped by watchful hands. As you drift closer to sleep, picture those guardians once more. Their eyes are bright, their stance steady, their hearts calm. They do not fear the world beyond the gate. They trust the signals of the garden within. They know balance is possible. And from this vision arises the next truth. That balance is not the same at every age. Just as forests change with the seasons, your microbial garden, and immune gatekeepers shift with the seasons of your life. Childhood, adulthood, old age, each brings a new landscape, a new rhythm, a new balance. This is where the journey leads next, into the microbial seasons of life. Your body is not fixed, not unchanging stone. It is a river, always flowing, always shifting. It moves through stages as surely as the earth moves through seasons. Childhood, adolescence, adulthood, elderhood. Each is a season with its own rhythms, its own light, its own shadows. And within you, the microbial garden follows these seasons too, blooming and fading, growing and reshaping, changing as you change. The story begins in infancy with the first bloom. Your gut is seeded with microbes at birth, a fragile meadow just beginning to sprout. In these earliest days, the garden is tender, easily swayed by nourishment, by touch, by environment. Breast milk, with its unique sugars, feeds particular species that shield and guide you. The immune system, still learning, listens closely to microbial whispers, deciding what is safe, what is not. The season of infancy is spring. Delicate shoots, tender roots, new life discovering its shape. As childhood unfolds, diversity expands. Each new food is a seed scattered into the meadow. Each interaction with the world. Playing in soil, share with others, touching animals, exploring nature, adds more species to the community. This is a season of growth, of abundance, of experimentation. The forest of microbes grows dense, teaching the immune system tolerance, strengthening the body's resilience. Like summer on earth, this is a time of flourishing. Adolescence arrives like a stormy season. Hormones surge, bodies grow, emotions shift. The microbial garden responds in kind, reshaping its balance under the influence of new chemicals, new rhythms, new sleep patterns. Some species rise, others fall. The forest adjusts to the changing climate, adapting quickly to the turbulence. This season is wild, unpredictable, but also vital. It teaches resilience, prepares the system for adulthood. Adulthood itself is a long, steady season. Here, the microbiome finds relative balance, shaped by diet, lifestyle, and environment. For many, diversity peaks during these years. The forest is mature, with roots deep and canopy broad. But balance depends on care. Poor nourishment, chronic stress, or overuse of antibiotics can thin the forest, reducing resilience. Choices matter greatly here, for they determine how the garden will age. Like autumn, adulthood is abundant, but its fruits depend on the soil that was tended in earlier seasons. And then comes elderhood, a winter of the microbial landscape. Diversity may decline, species once abundant may fade. The immune system, too, shifts, becoming less tolerant, sometimes more inflamed. The gut lining thins, digestion changes, and the microbial balance reflects this new stage. Yet, even here, the garden offers strength. Certain species remain steady, continuing to produce protective molecules, continuing to nurture calm. With care, nourishment, movement, connection, the garden in winter can still glow with quiet resilience. Each season of life shapes the next. A rich spring leads to a flourishing summer. A balanced summer prepares for an abundant autumn. An attended autumn softens the winter that follows. The microbial seasons are not separate but continuous, each laying the foundation for the next. Imagine walking through a great forest across the span of a year. In spring, small shoots push through soil. In summer, the canopy thickens, alive with birdsong. In autumn, leaves blaze with color. Fruits ripen, seeds scatter. In winter, the forest grows quiet, bare yet enduring, roots deep in the soil, waiting for renewal. This is your inner garden across the seasons of your life. You may wonder, what happens when the seasons shift too harshly, when the balance falters? Childhood without microbial diversity can lead to fragile immunity. Adulthood marked by imbalance can hasten decline. But the beauty of life is that renewal is always possible. Just as spring follows winter, your garden can recover, adapt, regrow, even after loss. Food, rest, movement, connection, these remain seeds no matter your age. A child's diet shapes spring. An adult's choices shape autumn. An elder's care shapes winter. At every stage, the garden listens, responds, blooms again. There is comfort in knowing you are not static. You are not trapped by one moment of imbalance. You are a seasonal being, capable of renewal, carried forward by rhythms older than yourself. The microbes that thrive within you are part of this cycle, rising and falling with the tides of life, yet always present, always guiding. As you rest, imagine yourself as a tree in the center of this forest. In your roots live the microbes of childhood, still influencing your growth. In your trunk, the strength of adulthood, steady and resilient. In your branches, the colors of elderhood, quiet yet luminous. Around you, the seasons shift, but you remain not unchanged, but ever renewed, ever alive. This is a healing truth of the microbial seasons. They remind you that change is not loss, but rhythm. They remind you that life cycles are not enemies, but guides. They remind you that, like Earth itself, you are capable of flourishing in every stage, in every season. And yet, seasons are not always gentle. Sometimes balance breaks. Sometimes storms disrupt the forest, leaving the soil bare, the canopy thinned. Illness, antibiotics, chronic stress, each can tear at the threads of the microbial tapestry. What happens then? How does the forest recover? How do you find balance again? The path leads there, into the moments when balance breaks, and the story of healing that follows. Every forest knows disturbance. A fire sweeps through, lightning cracks, drought settles, winds tear branches down. In the quiet afterward, the forest stands altered. Some trees are gone, some species fade, the canopy thins. The same is true of your inner garden. Balance does not always hold. Storms arrive, and the microbial harmony within you can break. This breaking is not failure. It is part of the rhythm of life, yet it carries weight. When the balance of your microbiome falters, your body feels a tremor. Digestion grows uneasy, immunity wavers, moods shift, sleep fragments. The reflection in the pond of your inner world becomes clouded. Antibiotics are one of the sharpest winds. They save lives, cutting down dangerous bacteria that threaten health. But they do not always distinguish friend from foe. In their sweep, they may clear beneficial microbes as well, thinning diversity, leaving bare patches in the forest. Some species recover quickly, others slowly, some never return. The meadow becomes more fragile, vulnerable to invasive weeds. Illness itself can unbalance the garden. Inflammation surges, defenses rise, and the microbial community shifts in response. Species once steady may vanish, others may overgrow. The balance that once supported calm now feels unsettled. The immune system, meant to protect, sometimes strikes too broadly, disturbing the soil of your inner world. Stress, too, is a breaking force. Chronic worry and tension send ripples through your gut, altering its movements, changing its secretions, shifting microbial populations. The hidden forest bends beneath the storm of cortisol, diversity wanes, protective species retreat. What begins in the mind becomes imbalanced in the gut, and what begins in the gut echoes back into the mind. Even diet can erode balance. Long stretches of highly processed food, rich in sugar and poor in fiber, starve the forest floor. Weeds, opportunistic microbes, flourish in the emptiness, while protective species fade. The symphony of voices grows thin, replaced by a few loud, unharmonious notes. The garden loses its depth, its resilience. You may have felt these breaks before. Times when your digestion grew restless, when moods felt heavier, when energy waned. Perhaps after illness, perhaps after medication, perhaps during stress. The body feels unsteady because the balance within has shifted. The inner garden mirrors the storm outside. Yet even in this breaking, resilience remains. A forest after fire looks barren, but beneath the soil, seeds wait, roots endure, shoots rise again with time and rain. The microbial garden carries this same potential. Balance may falter, but recovery is always possible. The key is patience and care. Diversity does not return in a day, but it can return. Fibers, fermented foods, polyphenol, these are the rain and sunlight that nurture renewal. Rest and sleep provide the quiet in which roots grow back. Connection with nature reintroduces old companions. Breath and calm soften the immune system's harsh edges, allowing the soil to heal. Science shows that even after strong disruptions, the microbiome can rebuild, not always in its exact form or shape, but in new, resilient forms. Like a forest, the new balance may look different, yet it holds strength of its own. The path of healing is not about returning to what was, but about growing anew. As you breathe slowly, imagine a forest after storm. Branches are broken, leaves scattered, silence heavy in the air. Yet look closely, and you see shoots pushing up through the ash. Flowers daring to bloom, insects returning, roots still alive. The forest remembers how to grow. Your inner garden, too, remembers. Breaking is not the end of your story. It is a moment in the rhythm, an opening for renewal. The microbial meadow, though fragile, is also astonishingly resilient. Balance can break, but it can also be restored. And in the act of restoration lies deeper strength, deeper understanding, deeper connection to the life within you. As you rest tonight, let this truth comfort you. Imbalance is not permanent. Loss is not forever. The forest of your body is built to renew, to recover, to bloom again. The breaking is real, but so is the healing. And with this comfort comes the next step in the journey, the path of restoration. If balance can falter, how do we invite it back? How do we nurture the inner meadow into bloom once more? This is where the story carries us, toward restoring the inner meadow. When balance breaks, the question that follows is always the same. How do we heal? How do we bring life back to the soil, color back to the canopy, music back to the meadow within? Restoration is not a sudden act, not a quick repair. It is a slow tending, a gentle invitation for life to return. And your body knows this path, just as forests know how to regrow after fire, just as rivers know how to carve new courses after floods. Your microbiome is not fragile glass that shatters beyond repair. It is living earth. It remembers. Even when thinned by antibiotics, disrupted by stress, or eroded by poor diet, it carries within it the seeds of renewal. What it needs is patience, nourishment, and your quiet care. The first step in restoring the inner meadow is variety. Diversity is the root of resilience, and food is a gardener's hand. Each new fruit, vegetable, grain, and legume you eat is a different seed scattered across the soil. Fibers, indigestible to you but vital to your microbes, act as fertilizer, feeding the companions that craft healing molecules. The more diverse the foods you bring, the more species reawaken, weaving the tapestry of your gut once more. Think of fibers as rain falling across the meadow. Each drop nourishes different roots, awakens different shoots. Some microbes thrive on resistant starches found in beans and bananas. Others bloom with pectin from apples or polyphenol from berries. The wider the variety, the richer the meadow becomes, each species adding its own color to the field. Fermented foods bring travelers from outside. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso. These carry live microbes that join the chorus for a time, some taking root, others simply passing through, but all adding to the song. They are like migratory birds, bringing new songs to the forest, expanding its harmony. Rest is also part of renewal. The gut is a living rhythm, and disruption in sleep unsettles its cycles. With deep, steady rest, the second brain repairs, the lining of the gut strengthens, and the microbial meadow regains its balance. In the quiet of night, the forest does some of its deepest healing. Stress management is another form of restoration. Breath slows storms. Calm signals carried to the vagus nerve ease gut muscles, soften inflammation, and invite microbes back into harmony. Practices of stillness, meditation, gentle movement, moments of gratitude become like sunlight filtering through the canopy, steadying the forest after winds. Connection with the natural world also matters. Soil, plants, and animals carry microbes that remind your body of ancient allies. Time spent outdoors, hands in the earth, air in your lungs, feet on the ground. These are subtle ways of reseeding the meadow, reintroducing lost companions, strengthening the inner ecosystem. But perhaps most important of all is patience. Forests do not regrow in a night. Meadows do not bloom in an hour. The microbial garden, too, takes time. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and slowly, shoots return, roots deepen, diversity strengthens. With consistency, with kindness, the meadow becomes vibrant again. Imagine yourself walking through your inner landscape now. At first, the soil seems bare, the grass thin. But as you scatter seeds, fibers, fermented foods, rest calm, you see green rising again. Tiny flowers appear, birds return, streams flow clear. What was once broken now hums with life. The restoration is not sudden, but it is steady, each step a promise, each choice a seed. Science supports this vision. Studies show that dietary changes can shift the microbiome in days. A week of varied fibers, and new species begin to appear. Months of consistency, and resilience strengthens. Even after great disruption, recovery is possible. The forest always remembers how to grow. This truth is comforting. You are not powerless in the face of imbalance. You are a gardener, a caretaker, a co-creator of your health. With gentle choices, you invite harmony back. With steady care, you nurture resilience. With patience, you restore what was lost. As you rest tonight, imagine lying in a meadow at dawn. The air is fresh, dew clings to grass, birds stir softly. You see shoots of green rising everywhere, flowers just beginning to open, insects humming quietly. The meadow is not yet fully grown, but it is alive, it is returning, it is whole, and it's becoming. This is your gut in restoration, steady, patient, alive with renewal. And with this vision comes the next step in the journey, how these whispers of restoration travel upward, beyond digestion, beyond immunity, into the very mind itself. How the renewed meadow sends signals of calm, clarity, and joy into thought and consciousness. This is the path ahead. toward the whispers of the mind. Your body does not speak only in movement, breath, or heartbeat. It speaks in whispers that rise quietly from the hidden garden of your gut to the vast expanse of your mind. These whispers are not words, yet they shape your thoughts. They are not sentences, yet they influence your moods. They are molecules, signals, rhythms carried upward, the soft language of your microbial meadow speaking to your consciousness. Each day, as you live, your microbes work silently. They break down fibers, ferment foods, craft vitamins, shape hormones. In their labor, they release molecules that drift into your bloodstream, cross into your brain, and nudge your feelings. Some soothe anxiety, some brighten mood, some sharpen focus. The whispers are constant, weaving a background song to your life. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a great forest at dawn. The air is cool, filled with a quiet chorus of insects and birds, subtle but steady. You do not need to see them all to feel their presence. The whispers from your gut are like this chorus, small voices, too quiet alone, but together creating a powerful harmony that guides your day. Serotonin is one of these whispers. Though most people think of it as the brain's molecule of happiness, nearly 90% is produced in your gut. Microbes and gut cells shape its flow, sending signals that steady your mood, regulate sleep, and ease digestion. When serotonin is balanced, you feel calm, steady, at peace. When it falters, the whispers shift, and your mind feels the echo. Dopamine, too, is touched by your microbes. Known for guiding motivation and reward, it flows in part from gut activity. Certain species craft as precursors, influencing how eager or unmotivated you feel. The whispers of dopamine color your sense of drive, nudging you toward action or rest. And then there are the short-chain fatty acids, born from fibers in your food. They do more than nourish your gut lining. They cross into your brain, modulating inflammation, shaping clarity, calming mood. Imagine them as lanterns carried upward from the forest floor, illuminating the pathways of thought, clearing fog from your mind. Even stress hormones bend to these whispers. Cortisol, the chemical of tension, can be softened when microbes produce calming signals. Anxiety that feels overwhelming can ease when your gut is steady, when its balance supports resilience. The forest soothes the sky above it, the roots steady the branches. This dialogue is constant, a two-way current. The brain sends messages down, stress, calm, thought, emotion, and the gut responds with whispers upward. The cycle never ends, a rhythm older than words. You are not a mind above and a gut below. You are a single system woven together by these quiet exchanges. Science calls this the gut-brain axis, but you may imagine it as a thread of light glowing from your abdomen to your head. Along this thread, signals rise and fall, carrying whispers that shape both body and mind. You have felt this many times. The heaviness in your mood after days of poor nourishment. The clarity and calm after meals rich in variety and color. The restlessness when your gut is unsettled. The peace when balance returns. Each of these is a meadow speaking, the forest sending its quiet voice into your awareness. And still, the mystery deepens. How much of who you are is shaped by these whispers? How many of your cravings, your emotions, your choices are co-authored by the microbes within you? When you long for sugar, is it your mind alone or the voice of certain species calling out for their food? When you feel calm after tea, is it your preference or the polyphenol feeding microbes that send signals of peace? The whispers are not commands, not control. They're suggestions, nudges, gentle currents. You remain yourself, yet you are more than yourself. You are a chorus, a community, a system of voices and dialogue. There is humility in this realization. You are not a solitary being. You are a collaboration of countless lives, each shaping and shaped by you. Your thoughts are not only your own. They are co-authored by an ancient partnership, a dialogue millions of years in the making. And yet, there is comfort too. For when moods feel heavy, when thoughts grow restless, you are reminded that you are not broken. You are simply reflecting imbalance in the garden below. Restoration is possible. Balance can return. The whispers can soften once more. As you rest now, imagine those whispers rising within you, molecules drifting upward like glowing pollen, carried on a gentle breeze. They float into your mind, settling like starlight, calming thoughts, easing tension, brightening mood. Your inner meadow is speaking, and your mind listens quietly. This is the gift of the gut. Not only to digest and defend, but to speak, to co-create the story of your mind. Its whispers are soft but steady, guiding you toward balance, toward peace, toward wholeness. And as you drift deeper into stillness, you sense the next step in the journey. If whispers shape your thoughts, what lies beyond them? What greater vision do they point toward? Perhaps the story does not end with balance or even with the mind. Perhaps it stretches further into a garden without end, an endless tapestry of life within and around you. All along this journey, you'll wander through forests of light, meadows of microbes, hidden rivers of signals. You have felt the whispers of your gut, the strength of its guardians, the resilience of its seasons. And now, as you rest in stillness, you begin to see the truth that shines through it all. The garden within you is endless. It does not end at the lining of your gut. It stretches outward through every breath you take, every connection you form, every hand you hold, every tree you touch. The microbes in your body belong to a greater web of life, one that flows through soil, through oceans, through air, through every living being. You are not only a single garden. You are part of an endless one. Think of soil beneath your feet. It, too, hums with microbial life, billions of organisms shaping fertility, growth, resilience. When you eat food grown in the soil, you carry pieces of that life within you. When you breathe, when you drink, when you walk through forests or fields, you exchange microbes with the world around you. The line between you and the garden beyond you blurs until it vanishes. The endless garden includes your ancestors. The microbes within you are ancient travelers, passed down through generations, shaped by countless lives before your own. Their whispers guided the rhythms of your grandparents. Their resilience supported your parents, and now they live within you, carrying wisdom older than memory. The endless garden also includes those beside you. Families, friends, strangers. You share microbes with one another through touch, through air, through food, through laughter. You are not isolated islands. You are fields overlapping, forests intertwining, meadows blending. Every connection is an exchange of life, and the endless garden extends into the future. The choices you make today, the seeds you scatter, the nourishment you give, the resilience you foster, ripple outward. They shape not only your health, but the health of generations yet to come. Your garden is not yours alone. It is part of a continuum, stretching forward, eternal. This perspective softens you. You realize you are not a separate self, fragile and alone. You are an ecosystem, interwoven with others, with earth, with time itself. The microbes within you are reminders of this truth. Life is not singular. Life is chorus. Life is community. Imagine yourself now walking through a vast meadow that has no end. Flowers bloom endlessly. Grasses sway in rhythm with the wind. Streams shine like rivers of light. You walk, and the meadow stretches on, horizon after horizon, infinite. This is the endless garden. Within you, around you, before you, beyond you. The science you have carried through these chapters is not only fact. It is wonder. It reveals a hidden truth that health, balance, and peace are not merely about cells or molecules, but about connection. Connection between gut and brain, between body and mind, between self and world. Your microbiome is not only a garden. It is a metaphor, a mirror, a reminder of what it means to be alive. To flourish, you must embrace diversity, nurture balance, adapt through seasons, heal when broken, whisper gently into the world around you. Just as your microbes sustain you, so too do you sustain the world. Tonight, as you breathe, feel this truth in your chest. You are not just one. You are many. You are not just alone. You are connected. You are not just a body moving through time. You are a garden, endless and eternal, part of the web of life itself. Let this truth settle into you like dew upon grass. Let it soften the edges of your thoughts. Let it carry you into sleep with the comfort of belonging. The endless garden hums within you. It hums around you. It hums forever. And you are its song.